In the Trenches with Ryan Roxie.
You're bringing me back. Actually, I brought myself back here to Los Angeles last night. We were drinking, and let me test you real quick, because it had been quite a many years since I had this cocktail. And I'm sitting here with Paul Blazik. I can't believe we haven't had a Paul Blazik sighting. It's almost like Sasquatch. He's got a gig, so he said he might be coming in and out of this room. Maybe we'll get a special appearance by Paul Blazik. But last night, as our cocktail of choice, I said, what about if we go to old school and we drink a little bit of vodka and orange juice? Because I haven't had that drink in about maybe 20, 30 years plus. And then we both tried to remember the name of that drink. Eric Dover, do you know the name of what they call a vodka and orange juice?
Isn't that a screwdriver?
Da-da-da! We couldn't think of that name. It was a screwdriver. And then we started ringing out all the old school names of cocktails that you'd have as a teenager when I think you'd borrow liquor from your parents and never give it back to them. But there was a Greyhound.
What's a Greyhound?
Greyhound is the same thing, vodka, but it has grapefruit juice.
Ah.
You see, so, and then all this is sort of going and morphing into what became the drink of the 90s and probably 2000s for both of us at one point, was the vodka cranberry. Which was pretty much the staple at least in my version of Snake Pit. Well, and was it the version in Snake Pit version 1?
Absolutely, yeah. That and I was drinking Jack Daniels and Jellyfish though.
Oh,
and then I made the switch. It was like Slash was like, "Hey, try this."
That seems different. I would assume Jellyfish more of a vodka type of colorful sort of psychedelic type of thing, and then Jack Daniels. But I like the switch that you made, because wouldn't Slash always say, just put a little bit of cranberry in there for color or something like that?
Yeah, you did. And then you remember Greg Smith, saying, "We're going to have a shot of the brown liquor," before we go on.
Greg Smith, bass player of Alice Cooper. What version did we play together in that? Was that
Brutal Planet?
That's right. That was the Dragontown Brutal Planet, somewhere around that era.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
It was fun, funny times.
Yes, we've been talking alcohol. We've been talking Fonzie. We've been talking Eyes of Alice Cooper. There's a nice picture of the lineup of Eyes of Alice Cooper lineup with Eric Singer on the left. There it is, Eric Dover, our guest today, with a beautiful white SG. That's that young, vivacious little singer right there called Alice Cooper in the middle. It's so weird. He looks just like a kid. He's a child right there. And that's me with my best, kind of boy band impersonation, and Chuck Garrick on the right, looking very John Cougar Mellencamp meets
Greg Kihn. I don't know,
and a little bit of a Greg Kihn vibe. I love it. Well,
I don't know my doppelgangers that well, but yeah, right, David. That white SG belongs to Eric Singer, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, right. So it was a prop guitar. Oh, fucking looks beautiful though.
It's crazy how most drummers that I know have better guitars than I do.
Yeah, I know, and can usually play better than us as well.
Yeah.
At some point. Well, let's do something, Eric. Let's take a quick break. Let's do a quick commercial for one of our sponsors, because I am on the road with Beyerdynamic, and I'm using their headphones right now. We'll do a quick commercial break, and then we will come back and let the people speak, of course, and then talk a little bit about what you're up to exactly right now, the new releases of Sextus and the new releases of the Licorice Quartet. So we're here with Eric Dover, folks, on In the Trenches. Enjoy this.
Hello, Ryan Roxie here, host of the In the Trenches podcast, and I also play guitar for Alice Cooper. I just wanted to take a second to talk about what mic you're hearing me speak through and what headphones I choose to listen to all my audio with. My go-to podcast and live performance mic is this TG V70 dynamic vocal mic. And when I'm recording acoustic stuff, I'll always mic it up with the Beyerdynamic M160 double ribbon mic. I listen to everything with the DT 1770 Pro headphones unless I'm out and about. That's when the Eventho wireless headphones really make listening to music, podcasts, or any other audio app that's on my phone, ultra high fidelity and latency free. Check out their official site or the links below in the description of this video to find out more about what makes Beyerdynamic a musician's choice in pro audio mics and headphones. Now, let's get back into the trenches for some more rock and roll. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the ride.
See, we do it quickly. It's quick and painless, I think. Nobody wants to hear about how they can shave their back with Manscaped, although they could be a good sponsor. And we just don't want to lag it on for 2 or 3 minutes. I'm not disparaging Manscaped, and I'm not disparaging removing hair at places you don't want it at all. But it's...
Well, yeah, you could do the Dr. Sasquatch soap thing, that
You're
was
a very hairless guy. You don't ever have to worry about that. I've been up and close and personal for years and years. You have a very hairless body, and at one point I did too. Holy smokes!
I think you're pretty hairless.
Yeah, well, I mean, never waxed. If you stay on that picture, Vic, because you knew I'd say that. But this is actually the show of Glamnation, where I believe I called Alice Cooper I called Ace Frehley the godfather of glam, I called either Ace or Alice, which is quite ironic because we're going on tour in just a couple of weeks with Ace Frehley and Alice Cooper. The thing is, I called one of them the godfather of glam, and then we had to apologize, and it was remember it was like the Beatles scenario where John Lennon said he was bigger than the Beatles, and Teddy kept hitting this sample saying, I never said it. What I said it was wrong.
I remember that. I never say we were better than the bigger than God. Oh man.
I never said Glamnation was better. It was something like that. And then at one point, when we broke into, which you sang a beautiful rendition of Mott the Hooples, All the Young Dudes. Didn't we have a sort of really cheesy 8x10 of Alice come down, and he was the real godfather of glam?
That's right, we did. Yeah, you'd rigged that up. I remember now. That was a pretty interesting show because Ace blew my amp up that night. You remember?
Oh shit! No.
He totally. But I had 100-watt 73 Marshall, very nice amp, and I remember he goes into the backstage and he goes, "What gauge strings you got on this?" And I'm like, I don't know, 10s. And then he just proceeds to go on the stage, 100 watts and dimes, all the controls. And it lasted about 2 songs and then went, see ya.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was loud. I do remember that. We rigged a lot of stuff up at the gig on Melrose on those Sunday nights. It was quite fun. I will always remember it. The thing is, I don't think you can find any footage of those shows. I think you just had to be there. And that's what's weird about the difference of that time. It wasn't that long ago, but you imagine if people had cell phone cameras back then, it would be legendary, those shows.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit before a few bands that kind of do that thing now that I won't name, but I think we were kind of going for that tongue-in-cheek, fun, celebrity skin sort of vibe, because we liked that
we reenacted the Rod Stewart stomach pumping incident at Club Makeup. I'm talking, see, I would never, my memory, at some point, like those hyperlinks to those memories, would never have snapped off unless I was talking to you, Eric Dover. But it was Club Makeup, right? Is that where we did it?
That was a fantastic show too. Cherie Currie was on it. She came and sang a few songs with us, I remember.
But wasn't there a little cat fight between Cherie Currie and the Fabulous Ashley, right? That night.
I believe there was. There was some kind of kerfluffle, I think, that went down.
I distinctly remember Fabulous Ashley saying, "What's that lady doing here? That's my song." and we had to explain to her, like, well, wait a second. Cherie Currie is the reason why that song is what it is. So she's got to come up and sing it. And there was a little bit of ruffling of the feathers, and it was a little bit of that, old dog, new dog, sort of like, yeah, a little like old cat, new cat. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But then we went on stage and we reenacted the Rod Stewart stomach pumping incident, which I would imagine not a lot of people in our live chat know what that urban legend is.
No.
But what other urban legends do you remember growing up?
I think that was probably the biggest one, if there ever was one.
Right.
There's the other urban legend. What is it? Ohio Players Love Roller Coaster.
Yes, there was a murder. There was a murder during. There's a murder going on. I can't believe you had that one, because I don't know. Did you hear that one in Alabama? Because I heard it in California, and people that are listening to this podcast going, "What the hell who are Ohio Players?" Great funk rock band of my youth, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, some of the best album covers, some of the most. What's wrong with being sexy?
If only more people would be sexy, then we wouldn't have this problem of people jumping sharks.
A little bit. It's a little with sexist type of, not sexist, but sexist. There's a difference, folks. What's wrong with being sexy? The Ohio Players. But please tell the people the story of the song Roller Coaster, made famous by Red Hot Chili Peppers. I guess we have to preface it with that in later years. But the original roller coaster, dun, dun, dun. What happened, and what's your version of that urban legend? I love it.
Well, what I'd heard in that urban legend, it wasn't a murder so much as it was someone at an amusement park on a roller coaster. That's what I'd heard, that they were on a roller coaster and they fell off of it and died and screamed on the way down. But then I went and heard later, of the other one. Oh, somebody was just murdered in the studio or something.
That's the one I heard. I heard the one that was, there was a stabbing in the studio, and it chilled me to the bone as a little kid, because it was like those things like when you'd say, if you listen to the Led Zeppelin record backwards, it'll give you subliminal messages,
We used to love to do that, though, because, did you hear it? I don't know. Did you hear it? Let's try it again.
What was Led Zeppelin trying to tell us?
Oh man, they've told us so much already. But
they were early on jumping the shark, but it was something else with the shark. I think Led Zeppelin did. They were plunging the shark. That's not urban legend. I think that's fact.
That actually happened. That's involving red snappers, if I'm not mistaken.
Another fish story here on In the Trenches.
Oh no! Now, watch out! No more fish stories. Everything keeps breaking up. Yeah.
Well,
I'm Ryan Roxie, and I've taken all my years of experience of playing guitar, and I want to pass the torch of rock and roll on to you. Check out the System 12 Guitar Method.